Hey, what's up? It's our
And
favorite
we're
holiday.
back.
Happy 420, everyone. I'm Sunny D,
And I'm Captain J.
and welcome to our Pot Smoking Moms podcast.
Happy of high holidays to you all. We decided to do something different and we're recording this episode live. And this is kind of new. We've done it before, but this is on our own without Jesse, using the studio's new features. We're like, it's been a while since we recorded. Let's do it live. That way it gives us a chance to celebrate with somebody, with some of you guys, if you are able to make it.
Yeah, we're so happy to see you guys. I mean, I 420 is a holiday, but at the same time, like we celebrate every day, baby. So it's just another day. But hopefully you guys are ready to do a little smoking with us, and yeah.
Yes, before we start the smoke sesh, I just want to introduce it. Say happy 420 and I guess Easter too, right? It's that
Yeah, happy
holiday as
Easter.
well.
Happy Zombie Jesus Day.
So we decided to have a little fun and make an Easter egg hunt for you guys. So if you're watching, you'll be able to watch the screen and you will see eggs pop up throughout the show. We already have our first one on the screen. Look, F. Oh, okay. So the eggs are going to spell out a phrase, and if whoever guesses the phrase at the end, because it will be scrambled up, will be winning a prize. We'll be giving away this chill bong. Oh, there we go. Stainless steel
Oh,
chill bong keeps your ice cubes cold while you're smoking. So stay tuned. Watch them eggs come in, and
we
we're gonna
got a
keep.
little F.
We got an F going in the basket.
I love this little basket.
But of course, I'm ready for a smoke sesh. How about you?
Let's do it. I'm ready to get down on some delicioso. Truly've had some super deals today,
Yeah,
so
for
I got
real.
made sure to get a $10 eighth, and hopefully you guys got some deals today too. What do you got?
I rolled up a J of some Crippy. It's an indica by Sunshine Cannabis. I find it funny that this strain is called Crippy because back in the 90s, all the good weed was just called Crippy because we didn't know
Right.
strain names.
Exactly. So the good shit was just called Crippy in general.
Yeah,
No strain names.
so it should be some good shit. All right, well, cheers, everybody. Ooh, I just saw an egg pop up. S for smoke sesh.
Right
Oh
on.
man. Whew. Let's put that S in the basket with the F. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're not seeing all these cool little eggs popping up and you're not able to participate in the egg hunt, but we will call out the letters as they come up so that those listening on the podcast can still participate. Maybe you'll still get a chance to guess the answer before the people that are here live if they're not able to figure it out.
Yeah, but don't stop there. Come follow us on YouTube. Make an account if you have to at this point. Just to, it's free, right? You don't have to pay for the YouTubes. Apples and bananas. Nice choice there.
So, what's going on with you, D? What's going on? It's been a while since we recorded. I know that we've had a lot going on.
I know
You
life's
want
been
to? We
very
should probably
crazy.
give everybody a update on why we've kind of been MIA for a little couple months now.
Yeah, we've been, I mean, you know how it is. First of all, we have families that could be pretty taxing, and our jobs have gotten pretty demanding. I did get a new job, and it's just like we're trying to keep it together. Any kind of extra time we have off, we really want to like decompress and chill, and so we've kind of put this on the back burner for now, even though like we love this and we love having our friends and all of the pot smoking moms come and join us. But sometimes life gets too hectic and
Mm,
everybody's got a lot going on, and we just need to take a break because, we want to be fresh to be able to
yeah, and we want to
not be
good
boring.
quality content. We don't want to just record just to record and put something
Right.
out. We've just been really busy. We both have had a lot going on. We're trying to reevaluate and see how the best to keep the episodes coming. Will we be doing more live episodes like this? This may be something, this is all the different things we're considering. But we're not going anywhere. We will be coming back. It's just we're trying to figure out the best pace for us right now. I
Okay.
have like a lot of shit going on with work, which is going to come up in my update in a little bit. But I did want to announce we finally have our PSM trip figured out.
We do, and we just also want to say we have our Patreon still going. We do have our Discord active. We're in there all the time, even though we don't have time to prepare content for podcast all the time. We do always, I mean, we're on there like practically every day, if not maybe a couple times a day, just
Mm-hmm.
tapping in, smoking. If we could jump in and smoke for a second with other pot smoking moms. I mean, you guys watch TV shows together too, so there's a big part of the community that does watch.
Sometimes we walk together too.
Yeah, right.
On the You Better Work channel. Get some exercise in together. There's a bunch of different things we got going on there. And we're planning our trip. Obviously, our trip coming up in August, end of July, beginning of August. We decided we're going to go to Chicago and Lollapalooza.
Which sounds very 90s because, like, it's so crazy today, too. When I was at the dispensary, they were taking a second to get my stuff together because I ordered so much stuff today. I even got like gummies and chocolate and all kinds of stuff. But they were playing very 90s, like my ideal high school playlist, right? And then I don't know if you remember this one song. It came up. It was I think the name of the band is One Republica. It's one of those like one hit wonders, and they sang that song on the rooftop, shout it out, baby, I'm ready to go. You remember that?
Yes.
I'm back at-" I was obsessed with that. I had it on a single, and then we just had a chat with with the bud tenders there, like, this is very 90s. I'm just jamming out to the 90s playlist you guys got going. He's like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure it's on the end credits for Hackers." And I started laughing because that's exactly what I was thinking about is the movie that it was in.
Yep.
Because a lot of back in the
Mhm.
day, man, movie soundtracks were chef's kiss. There were some movies that I didn't even like very much, but their soundtracks were so good that I would buy the movie soundtrack just to have that set of like songs. It's a good mix, you know. You don't want to commit to one artist. You can commit to a soundtrack that has a bunch of different ones.
That's what's good about soundtracks when there's a good soundtrack that has like a good variety of music. Let me tell you, Yellow Jackets has a great soundtrack because it's all 90s music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I really love listening to music in that show.
Is that when that accident happened? Was in the 90s when they were in high school?
Yeah, it's like 1996, I think.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm super excited for Lollapalooza, and we're not gonna be doing Lolla the whole weekend. We're gonna enjoy Chicago as well. We're gonna like do city stuff on Friday. Yeah, smoking with us while watching the Heat game. Thank you. Cheers.
Are we
So
winning? Are we winning? Are the
yeah,
Heat
are we
winning?
winning? Are the Heat winning? So
That's what my
yeah,
husband's watching too.
yeah. In addition to Lala in Chicago, we're planning a local beach meetup sometime in September. We're looking at the last weekend of September, just getting together on the beach, and hanging out, doing that what we like to do on the beach.
Chilling,
Yeah. And then I was
smoking.
wondering, should we ever do another spliff and splash?
I mean, that was pretty fun.
I had a great time. And I would love to do it again. And we got to see if we could find some sponsors if anyone's interested in that. So, if any sponsors or anybody that would be interested in collaborating on that event, hit us up. We had a really good time last year doing the Spliff and Splash.
Yeah, I got the food. We had nice food. Food was great. I love food, so I'll just talk about the food anytime we have an event. Just be like the food.
We just
As
had another egg pop up. We got an R up in here.
Oh, got an R
You
up in
guys
here.
should let us know in the chat when you see an egg. You can eat it.
It's too expensive. Too expensive.
So we scheduled this, and I was like, "Damn, The Last of Us is back. I'm gonna have to go running to watch it."
Oh, did you? I've seen the first episode. You saw the first episode?
Yes, I saw the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. I like the show is a good mix of everything, you know.
Yeah,
But like I do need those refreshers at the beginning of the show to remind
I
me of
mean,
all
it's
the
been
shit that
forever
happened.
since we've seen it. I
Feels
mean,
like it. Feels like it, right?
yeah,
It's been.
because of the strikes and stuff.
Mm,
Oh, we're not winning, but we're
I
hanging
know. I
close.
saw
8-point
that.
game. Ah,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's 420. At least we have we.
At least we have that. I know that he have been kind of crappy. We're hoping though.
But one thing I've been noticing lately, I don't know if you've noticed it. I watch a lot more TV than you do. That's my relax, dissociate kind of thing when I'm not working. Is I've been seeing weed representation in TV more. Like on TV shows, you're seeing like characters smoking weed more or weeds being mentioned, and it's not like in a
Or
negative,
normalize.
derogatory way. Yes,
Well, but I think it's yeah. I mean, I do think that we are in a different place right now, and it would be a disservice to all the advancements we've made for them not to bring it up because I mean, it really is a little bit more normal and more socially acceptable. I know
yeah.
Abbott Elementary had the one scene in the break room where everybody's
Abbott
going back talking
Elementary,
about what they do,
Yellow
protein
Jackets. They
edible.
had a few scenes where they had weed. One, a character smokes with their dad and everything, like and it's a very positive experience kind of thing. And that I've seen them. They talk about it on The Last of Us. She was like talking about being high
All right, yeah,
and
yeah,
she paid and he paid for his session to the therapist with weed. It's
right.
like, and she's like, remember, she's like,
Oh, I
what? She's
remember that
like
part.
weeds. She's like, what, stems and seeds? What am I in high school? She says, and he's like, we're in the middle of winter. And she's like, so and so always didn't matter with so and so. He had buds the size of pine cones. I was like, what? This is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, oh, damn straight. In a post-apocalyptic world, you're
You
paying for
still
shit
got
and
weed.
weed.
Weeds is very valuable, I bet.
Right. Hey, you trade, you get something to trade. He's trading it for therapy services, so
Oh, we just got another freaking egg. They're just popping up all over the space.
oh my
We got a
gosh.
U. So, what's going on with your life? Any updates for us?
Nothing really. We're having a fun conversation earlier today because we're at a point where we're like trying to show our kids. all of the beloved 80s films that we once enjoyed, you
Yeah.
know, only for our children to shit all over it. You know what I mean? It's funny because, like, yeah, I'm starting to try to like separate myself a little bit, but in the sense of like, hey, I thought this was special. I thought this was great. You might think it's trash. You might think it's super corny, or what's the word there? Cringe, right?
Cringe.
You might think it's super cringe, but like this is interesting and fun and something that's not. Movies nowadays are just remakes. They're just checklists for big Hollywood executives, right?
Yeah,
Back in
everything
the
is a
80s,
remix. But
we had
like,
some
but also
choice
like it's
films.
not as appropriate. Like you see some stuff in the movies that we're like, oh, that's kind of racist and that's kind of like
That's
sexist and
another
that's kind of
thing.
like
That's
you're like, whoa.
yeah, dude. Seriously, and then since you're showing your kids, you're like, we show them Teen Wolf. You remember Teen Wolf?
Yes, I love that movie
Yeah,
with
great
Michael J.
movie.
Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, parts of it have not aged very well. There's a moment where they call someone the F word, a derogatory term, and like it's like at the beginning of the movie, and then you're just like, as parents, you're like, not don't remember that part. Please don't remember that part. It gets better, and then well, we showed them Adventures in Babysitting is like a favorite one of mine.
That's a great movie.
Oh my god, and it's just so much fun from the
Yes.
beginning to end. Like,
Yes.
granted, let's not dissect the movie too much because that shit wouldn't happen nowadays, right? Because cell phones pretty much would soak up 90% of the plots back in the day, right? All
Yeah.
the plots would be like, oh yeah, that would have been resolved if you would have just whipped out your cell phone.
Just call them.
Right, but like it's pretty fun and it's so much stuff happening that the kids never get time to be bored.
Hmm.
So they enjoyed that one. And then like that's one of my favorite ones. So I hadn't seen it in a long time. So I kept going like, that's the good part. I love that part.
Yes, it's fun watching old movies after a long
Yeah.
time.
Even though sometimes they're just like, man, this is terrible. And you're like,
Oh,
you're
there was
right.
something we watched the other day that was that, and I can't remember right now. We watched it in the Discord. I can't remember what it was
Well,
now.
and you guys were like, oh, this is trash now. You guys realize now?
It wasn't. Oh, it was just okay. Was it Scrooge? Not Scrooged. Because I loved that movie, but there were parts that
That
were
Bill
like,
Murray
holy,
movie?
but yes, I think,
Cringe.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. Uh, yeah, I think it was Scrooge. Yeah.
We've shown them Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is pretty
No,
good.
Ghostbusters great. I don't think there's
Ghostbusters,
anything
the
there.
first two ones. I can't. You know, it's so funny now in retrospect, watching some of this stuff too. Like you have thoughts as an adult, right?
Mhm,
Seeing these
mhm.
films. I was watching Ghostbusters and I was like, "What's his name? Egon." I like his character the most now that I'm a grown up.
Yeah.
You know, I like his character because I'm like he's the smart one, and then it's like some dark humor too. I think is fun.
See, Lolo
Scrooge,
said
that's
it
the
was
movie,
Scrooge. Yeah, because that's what we watched. We were like, oh.
and it's Bill Murray too, right?
Yeah, Bill Murray.
Yeah, that guy. Loose cannon there with that one.
Oh man. Well, I've had a lot going on the last few months, which is why we haven't been able to record.
I mean,
Yeah,
damn.
Julian, we've been trying to pick his middle school. We finally picked his middle school. It turns out most likely him and all his best friends might go to different schools. So that will be, he'll have to make new
Bummer.
friends. Yeah. But luckily nowadays they play together online all the time. That's like the thing.
Right. So they'll still
Um,
stay connected that way.
exactly, exactly. And his best friend lives down the street. He just needs to learn to ride his fucking bike and go hang out with him.
That's another thing. We gotta get them out of the house.
Yeah, yeah. I have
They're
to.
it.
His friends they came over the other day, and so I had 3 11-year-olds running around the house, and it was adorable. They were like, they were playing not digitally. They were playing like running around the house, playing games, even playing with swords. Like playing with each other. But they had on their phone another friend that always plays with them virtually when they play games that couldn't come because he lives in Orlando.
Oh.
He lives
Oh,
very far away, and they all live together here and go to the same school, but that friend lives in Orlando.
and they
So,
had
like,
him on
they
FaceTime.
had him on Discord because they
Oh,
use
that's cute.
Discord too. They each two of them had him on their phone, and were like, it was really funny. I was like, Why do you guys have your phone?" And then they're like, "Oh, Ollie's here."
Like we do sometimes when we're on our trips and some moms can't make it.
Yeah, remember we did the sesh at the park?
We were on the Discord smoking with everybody,
And
and the wave
person
came
with a bunch
in.
of people. Yeah. The people on
I was
Discord
like,
saw
"There's
the
a
wave.
big boat. We should probably move. It's gonna create the wake." And everyone's like, "Ah." Everybody did the same thing. I always do this, where like you say something and then you immediately forget it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said it. Everybody, including me, immediately forgot it. And like 2 seconds later, everybody was like, "Ah!"
We all had to like
The
receive
water came
and
in.
like I and my phone was on a tripod and the water came in and we left my phone I left my phone behind on the tripod. Thank God it didn't get washed down. It still stayed standing because it wasn't like that much of a wake. It was just like
Right.
coming in. So they
That
just
was
see us
hilarious.
leaving and leaving the phone
Yeah, right.
behind.
Because everybody that was present had their Discord on. So
It was like two
everybody who was not with us saw everything that happened from different
different
angles.
angles.
And then the lady who was watching us, like, look at
Yeah,
these
there was a
stoner
lady right
moms,
there
these middle-aged stoner moms having a tough
smoking
time
in the
over
middle of the
here.
day at the park. Oh,
How
see,
funny.
Lolo knows she was there. She was on the phone. Oh
And
man,
and then I just
good
immediately
times.
thought of the last time your phone had a water incident.
Oh my God, let's not talk about that. I don't want to jinx
Everybody
myself.
just looked at
I
the phone. Boop.
just sink to the bottom of the ocean.
They were like,
Oh my God.
crazy. I remember that boat ride all the time, and I get worked up. I'm
Yeah.
gonna see that guy one day.
One
That
day you're
guy
gonna
who
see that
ruined
guy's.
our guy. I'm gonna see that guy, and I'm gonna punch him right in the Adam's apple.
But this overworking I've been doing at work, it's probably gonna last through June as we finish this acquisition. It's
Through June?
yeah, because we're still onboarding a bunch of people, and this is the anxiety I'm having. I'm going to Spain in just a few days for my sister's wedding in the middle of all this, because this is a trip I can't like. Oh, let me reschedule this trip because I'm in the middle of this crazy hectic thing at my job. No, it's my sister's wedding. Of course I have to
Plus, the
go.
crazy hectic thing at your job is not like a day or two or a couple of weeks. It's like it's been a while now.
Yeah, since December.
Yeah.
It's like 6 months straight. Whatever. I'm getting help. It should get better. But I'm going to Spain, and that's what I'm trying to like, trying to wrap things up at work so I can actually focus on I'm going to Spain. You
Right.
know, I get to actually be. I'm gonna be gone for a week, so I might as well completely disconnect. I'm gonna be in another country. It's not like I'm gonna have phone service, but like WhatsApp when I'm on the Wi-Fi, which is not
Right.
gonna be all the time. So that's happening. I'm excited.
You should be. That's fun. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. Julian, this will be the first time he's out of the country, like, and he gets to experience Europe and see a very different, you know, culture. And we're gonna be in like some of the oldest cities, like really old cities, like ancient looking cities. So I'm excited. We're gonna go to Madrid, Toledo, and Segovia.
Cool.
Yes.
Very
So
nice.
last night,
Yeah, we had a show. We took the girls to the concert. It was at an amphitheater. We thought it would be a pretty chill. Like, look, I thought it was gonna be. We went to see Crankbin.
okay.
I thought it wasn't. I knew it was gonna be packed, but I didn't know it was gonna be ridiculously packed.
I
Like,
feel like they oversold it, and that's
I
what Reams
too.
said. Reams is like, I don't think they put a cap on the tickets, and they just oversold it
I
because
also think that
the lawn, there was not enough space for everyone to. They had lawn to sit on lawn.
people were standing on the
Yeah,
sides.
yeah. It was like it's not. Lawn, it's like standing room only on lawn sold.
And yeah, like
It was crazy.
it was, they oversold it. It was really really annoying because I okay, again, I knew it was gonna be packed, but I didn't think it was gonna be packed to the point of that it was gonna be hard to navigate.
Hmm.
Like we went with our kids. They're little. They're 5 and 7, so it was like they're old enough to have a good time and be okay in a big setting, but then I'm not okay. Like I get really anxious and very overstimulated and protective
Yeah,
when
of
I'm
course.
out in such a big crowd with them.
Hmm.
So I just, things are starting to get on my nerves. Like I know you guys, I really wanted to be with you guys, but we had gotten there early and I felt like we were just kind of like landlocked. Like
Yeah,
there was so a sea of people and I wasn't going to start navigating it with them until it was like time to go or something, where it was
yeah.
like, you know, but I was just so crazy. For starters, like it's lawn, so
Hmm.
you can't bring chairs. You can only rent their chairs.
You could bring a
Um
blanket. That's
so
it.
yeah, so that's what we brought. We brought a blanket. But like there was so many people that some people were laying down and I'm like, you, like there's too many people here for you to lay down. And you cannot lay down with so many people around you and be like relaxed. Do you get what I'm saying?
Like it's a lot of people. I could
You
not lay
cannot.
down.
Yeah, you can't. What are you laying down for? You're not relaxing. You're not taking a nap. It's ridiculous. The lady in front of me was laying down and my foot was right next to her hair. I felt like I really wanted to start combing her hair with my toes.
Oh
To
my
like,
god.
you know what I mean? To give her like, to be like, "Hey, yeah, do you get the point? The point is like, why are you laying down, dum dum? You know?" And then it was the lady in front of us, and then the guy next to me. The guy next to us, not only was he
He was
laying
laying
down,
down too?
bitch, he was on his cell phone laying down. And I'm just like, dog, why did you pay money and you're wasting energy to come here to a show to lay down and be on your phone, you fuckhead? Like, go home and do that shit. Like, why are you at a concert? Not enjoying the music, just laying down on his cell phone. I wanted to take the cell phone and shove it into
Oh
his
my
throat
god.
because I was like, this is dumb. You're stupid. Why are you doing this? It was crazy. And it was just because I was overstimulated.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
You know, and then everybody playing chess to get around. So there was always somebody like, you always had to see
Let
because someone was
somebody
always,
was trying to walk
yeah.
by
Yeah, yeah. And then look, check this out. Then there
because
was a
you're
couple
right
in
by
front.
the sidewalk.
I mean, whatever. It was everywhere. People were like just walking to try to get to
Yeah,
places, even just looking for spots to try to sit.
yeah.
Then this one couple came in, and I swear I was like, when are they gonna enjoy the show? Every time, guy got up, get beers, got up, get food, got up, got a merch. It was like constant, 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 coming back and forth, and I was like, do you guys want to sit down and enjoy the show?
We got lucky. We got a spot where we didn't get a lot of traffic. We're like on the far right, almost to the rail part where before it starts to seats. There's like a little bar there actually on the other side of the rail. And there's a couple that was right in front of the rail and they sat down the whole time right there. And we were just a foot away from them, started our space where we all were. And since they never stood, and we were all so close there and there was nowhere around where there was a chance to have a spot, we didn't have people coming in and out in front of us,
Oh,
so we
good,
had
yeah.
like a clear view the whole time. We got to sit the whole time.
Yeah, we had a pretty spot on view. It was pretty great.
That's what's good about that venue. Anywhere's pretty good view.
Yeah.
Like,
Then towards the end, when all the hits started getting played, everybody
yeah,
got up because,
everybody
like,
started
yeah,
standing and
everybody started
dancing and
recognizing some of the songs.
yeah, 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 it was good. It was so good.
But it was good. I like them. I
So
think
i
they oversold the show, and the
i
next time I will not be taking children to show.
Yeah,
But
I did not want to take. I knew he wouldn't have enjoyed it anyway, so and I would have been like you were more
right.
concerned about them and then being able to actually enjoy it. I ended up taking a little bit of chocolate. microdose some mushrooms. I rolled 3 J's to bring. Between me, I had 3 J's. Nadia had a J. Denise had a J. So throughout the show, we were lighting J's throughout the show. At one point, the couple that was sitting behind us, she was like, "How many of those do you guys have? And can I buy one from you?" And they were really nice the whole time, and like we had interacted with them a couple times already. They were letting us like move a little further back, which was kind of like next to them. And then this other girl that was alone sat next to them. And the girl that was alone that sat next to them said, "Actually, I brought one too, but like I don't have a lighter." And I was like, "Oh, I have a lighter. Here you go. You can use my lighter." And I was like, "This is like," Denise is like, "This is our last one, but I'm happy to share, you know?" And so like we were smoking and then we gave with to them too. It was really funny.
Nice.
And they're like, "Thank you." They're like, when we let them use a lighter, they're like, "Thank you. See, such great community."
Stoners, we got each other's back.
That's for sure.
I
And
always
then we
think of
started talking about like they're like, "I wasn't sure about how to bring it in," da, da, da. And then I told her how I do it. I was like, "Oh, I just roll them and I bring them in a doob tube and I just hide it in my pants. They don't really search you; they're just looking for weapons."
right.
And everybody was smoking. There was weed smoke all over the place. The people
Yeah,
next.
at one point I looked at my kids and I was like, it smells like our house in here, doesn't it?
Does it smell familiar?
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're used to this smell. They know.
Oh man. Well, before we move out of catching up and get on to our segment,
Are
we
these
need to
all the
collect
eggs
our
we have so
eggs.
far?
Yeah, we got to collect the eggs from this segment. In this segment, we got R and U. So far we got URFS.
Nice. Surf. Uh,
Surf.
surf.
It could possibly spell surf.
Maybe.
I don't know, maybe. Guess the phrase, guys. Before we move on to regular scheduled segments, we want to say
Oh
thank you
my
to our
gosh. We love
patrons.
you,
We love
patrons.
you guys so much. We do this because of you guys. You keep us going. Well, all of you do, but
Oh, I had the
especially
memory.
y'all.
I had the memory come up of our Denver trip with all the stuff under ice, under snow.
Oh yeah, and you know
Just
what? I think it snowed there again 420
probably.
this year. This year, I think it snowed there again
They can miss,
today.
they can miss me with that shit this year. That snow can miss me. I don't care.
All right, let's go on to some news nugs.
Yeah. News nugs.
Where we
Where
get
we get high
high
and
and
read the
read the
news
news to
to
you.
you. Almost.
Almost. Yeah, news nugs. Ooh, look, we have another egg, y'all. We got a pea that just popped up.
Collect those eggs, y'all.
Let's see.
You
So
could be
for
a
our
proud owner of
first,
bong.
for our story for News Nugs this week, for 420, Ben and Jerry's teams up with Marijuana Justice Group to push governors to free cannabis prisoners. As consumers and businesses across the U.S. gear up for the 420 holiday on Sunday, ice cream maker Ben& Jerry's is drawing attention to the tens of thousands of people who will spend their 420 in prison for the same cannabis-related activity. This year, the company, which has regularly used 420 to highlight justice related cannabis matters, has partnered with the advocacy group Last Prisoner Project to urge state governors to grant relief to those behind bars for marijuana. This 420, the need for cannabis justice is at an all-time high, Ben& Jerry's said about the new effort.
And I've seen their post on social media, and they've gotten together with some people to do some really good videos and stuff that I noticed. The groups are also encouraging supporters to take action, recommending they reach out to their state governors or call for clemency, sign petitions to free people incarcerated for cannabis crimes, spread the word using the hashtag 420 for freedom on social media, and attend a Washington, D.C. event. The Cannabis Unity Week of Action, held April 29th through May 1st, aims at promoting a broader marijuana legalization. The company says that as cannabis businesses will rack up sales, public figures will use their platforms to highlight cannabis culture, and millions of Americans will take advantage of their freedom and consume with friends and family on 420. It's crucial that advocates continue pushing to right the wrongs of prohibition. When we say legalization without justice is half baked, we mean that legalization, while people, disproportionately black and brown, are still sitting in prison for cannabis or reeling from the detrimental impacts of having a cannabis conviction on their records, is simply not justice fully realized. Palika Maycomb, Ben and Jerry's U.S. activism manager, said in a statement.
Sarah Gerstein, executive director of Last Prisoner Project, pointed to incarcerated individuals such as Antonio Wyatt, who is serving time in Kansas, and Robert Deals, currently behind bars in Arizona. It is unacceptable that while legal cannabis generates billions in tax revenues, states still incarcerate people like Antonio Wyatt and Robert Deals, who are serving time for the same thing. Gerstein said in a statement, "Governors have the power to right this wrong, and we're calling on them to act now." A press release about the effort notes that 84% of Americans are in support of releasing people still behind bars for marijuana offenses, citing an ACLU poll. Ben& Jerry's also dove into the issue of restorative justice in the cannabis industry in a recent episode of the company's Into the Mix podcast.
In addition to support from Ben and Jerry's, the 420 for Freedom campaign is also backed by dozens of cannabis related companies. Pushing for justice on 420 is a regular thing for the ice cream maker. Last year, Ben and Jerry's teamed with ACLU to similarly encourage fans to pressure state governments for cannabis clemency. Is not enough to decarcerate people convicted for cannabis related offenses. To truly achieve cannabis justice, we also have to do what's necessary to ensure people are no longer haunted by these convictions. Maycomb said at the time, countless people are still incarcerated and continue to be burdened by convictions for cannabis related offenses, even in states where cannabis is legal.
And by the way, we have an F on the board.
Boop, boop, boop. Another little egg, you guys.
Another
I
little egg.
hope you're writing it down on your post it notes.
So ACLU and Ben& Jerry's also paired up with for 420 in 2023, asking people to send a pre-written letter to their governor that implores them to provide the state level relief to those who've been criminalized because of cannabis. The groups undertook similar efforts in earlier years as well. For 420 in 2019, Ben& Jerry's published a detailed blog post digging into issues such as racial disparities in the legal industry, disproportionate arrest rates in states like Colorado, and Republican former House Speaker John Boners.
Yeah,
Did
that's it.
I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry.
John Boner's mom. Evolving stance on cannabis.
Republican former House Speaker John Boner's evolving stance. I feel like like a child laughing at that.
It's probably Bonner. Probably.
It's probably Bonner's. Evolving stance on cannabis from prohibitionist to marijuana firm board member. It also called out the legal cannabis industry's problematic willingness to profit while failing to acknowledge the criminal justice reform work that's still to be done. Around the 420 holiday in 2022, meanwhile, the company called on supporters to pressure the U.S. Senate to approve a House passed bill that would have ended federal prohibition. Yeah, they keep urging and urging, but nobody been doing shit. People are still in jail, and nothing
Yeah,
passed to the end the federal.
they're quick to cash those checks in, but not so quick to get the people out of jail. My turn.
Yeah, you're green.
The black and brown community have borne the high cost of cannabis prohibition and the
That's for
system of
sure.
mass incarceration that it has fueled, while white men reap the financial benefits of the legalized cannabis industry. Isn't that just
That's how the way the
that's
world.
how the world's been working? Chris Miller, global head of activism strategy at Ben& Jerry's, said at the time, that's why the Senate must immediately pass legislation that begins to right the wrongs of the decades long war on drugs by legalizing cannabis and expunging records while restoring equity to the booming legal cannabis industry. As for other advocacy around 420, a group of former cannabis prisoners who received clemency from President Donald Trump during his first held term, an event out his first held term, an event. Wait a minute, I'm not reading that right. From President Donald Trump during his first held term at an event outside the White House on Thursday,
I think there's
expressing
supposed to be a
gratitude.
comma.
Yeah, my brain's not functioning enough to figure it out. Expressing gratitude for the relief they received and calling on the Trump administration to grant the same kind of help to others who are still behind bars for cannabis. As for actual reform at the federal level, a White House spokesperson recently told CNN that the administration currently has no action planned on marijuana reform proposals, including those like rescheduling and industry banking access that Trump also endorsed on the campaign trail last year.
Jeez. Well, the White House has also said that marijuana rescheduling is not part of Trump's drug policy priorities for the first year of his second term. A disappointment for advocates and stakeholders who hope to see him take speedier action.
To say the least.
And I honestly didn't expect him to do anything. Former officials with the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services also recently said that without proactive advocacy for marijuana rescheduling from Trump personally, the process could stall indefinitely. Lovely. Well, let's collect our eggs for this segment before we move on.
Put them in the basket, Jay.
I
It
think we
says
got
Furf Spa.
PAF. We got PAF this segment.
Furf
So we have
Spa.
FURFSPA.
Furf Spa.
All right. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know with the. There are a lot of urging. Those are some good campaigns that they're doing. Ben and Jerry's has always been a big part of different
Yeah,
advocacies
it's
and
nice to see them use Last Prisoner Project too.
yeah,
They're one of our favorite groups. So that's interesting. There we know Ben and Jerry's are stoners. Come on.
yeah,
Some of the mixes for the
half
ice creams.
baked.
Yeah, you know it. Hey you guys, if you're not watching us on YouTube, what are you waiting for? Now is the best time to do it.
Yeah, you can't
Sure,
see
we're
the
not
eggs
putting
unless you're on YouTube.
right. I mean, we're not putting content as often. We're not bombarding you with content, but like we
Or you
got
could be watching
lives.
on Facebook right now too. I think no, there's nobody on Facebook right now. We have 5 people from YouTube
Well, good. Stay on YouTube then. F Facebook.
and somebody on Twitch. What's up? Hey, happy
Twitch always brings us
420.
one a
I think
buddy
it's
or
that one
two.
buddy that we have on Twitch.
That one buddy on Twitch. The one buddy always comes through on
Who's
Twitch,
our Twitch
man.
buddy? Say something in the comments. So yeah,
Yeah,
please.
they can
If you're
comment and we
listening
can see
now on
it.
the podcast, this aired live Sunday on 420, and you missed it on YouTube. So
Right, but if you were subscribed to us on either YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, you would have gotten a notification. Sometimes we jump on here just to talk shit and smoke weed. So we invite you to join us.
because it's
We
fun.
also invite you to join us for a little
I love you,
I love you
Miami.
Miami.
I love you, Miami!
I love you,
We got some
Miami.
I love you Miami. We got some good news here. Florida lawmakers unanimously approved bill to make medical marijuana cards free for military veterans. This is some good
That's pretty
news
awesome. That's
from
pretty
Florida,
awesome. Finally doing something good.
right? A Florida House panel on Tuesday unanimously approved a bill that would exempt military veterans from straight registration fees for medical marijuana cards, allowing them to obtain the certifications for free.
Nice.
The House Health and Human Services Committee advanced the legislation, House Bill 555, from from Representative Alex Andrade, a Republican, I guess, on a vote of 21-0. As originally filed, the measure would have made more significant changes to the state's existing medical cannabis program. For example, allowing home cultivation as well as reciprocity for out of state patients.
We
But
should have
earlier,
reciprocity. I don't know why we don't.
but earlier this month, the House Health Professions and Programs Subcommittee replaced its language with a two-page substitute that instead would only make small changes to the medical program. First, it would change how often patients need to renew their medical marijuana cards from the current annual process to once every 2 years. That sounds
Ooh,
good.
that sounds nice. Second, it would waive the, well, is that just for them? Just for the
Yeah,
veterans? Second,
maybe.
it would waive the $75 registration and renewal fee for veterans. Okay, no, I think that's for everybody. Waiving
Right.
the fee is for the veterans. So I think we would, as just cardholders, would only have to review by like every 2 years.
That would be great because fuck
That's
that. Fuck
nice.
all that shit.
Yeah. Okay, and it would waive the $75 registration and renewal for veterans, specifying that the state may not charge a fee for the issuance, replacement, or renewal of an identification card for a qualified patient who is a veteran. A handful of supporters testified ahead of the panel's vote on Tuesday, and no one spoke against the measure. Melissa Villar of Tallahassee Normal said that when Florida's medical cannabis program launched, it was the most expensive in the country for patients and for business entrants. She asked lawmakers to expand the bill to go beyond helping military veterans and to additionally provide for discounted or cost free patient cards for people who are disabled or low income. If HB 555 becomes law, the changes would take effect July 1st.
Separately, House and Senate lawmakers are considering legislation that would outlaw fungal spores that produce mushrooms containing psilocybin or
I'm really pissed off about this. Look,
like
I
I
look.
saw where I started reading it like upbeat, and then I just started reading the rest of it, and I was just like, nah, I don't like
So
where
I
this is
saw this
going.
headline separately, and I was like, "Oh my god, which do I do?" But then I saw they talk about it in the story too, so I was like, oh, "Okay, this story is also touching on some other shit that's happening in Florida that's cannabis or like psychedelics related." So I was like, we could just cover it all in this one story.
Yeah, me no
But
like you.
yeah, this sucks. This sucks.
The proposed ban on spores of mushrooms that create psilocybin or psilocin is part of the roughly 150-page bills that would make a variety of adjustments to Florida's agricultural laws, including around agricultural lands, utilities, and wildlife management. See, that's the fucked up shit. They'll write a bill that is pages long and they'll sneak other shit in there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With respect to psychedelic mushrooms, both would outlaw transporting, importing, selling, or giving away spores or mycelium capable of producing mushrooms. Well, we better stock up on mycelium or other material which will contain a controlled substance, including psilocybin or psilocin, during its life cycle. Violating violating the proposed law would be a first-degree misdemeanor carrying the maximum 1 year in jail and
What?
$1,000 fine.
That's ridiculous. Can they focus on that's like why? What's their beef?
Wah, wah.
Okay, this is more bad news. The Senate last week also passed a bill that would restrict hemp-derived THC products including popular THC infused beverages. Among other changes, that proposal would forbid any amount of synthetic cannabinoids, including delta 8 THC, the amount of delta 9 THC in hemp derived products. Meanwhile, couldn't be more than 5 milligrams per serving or 50 milligrams per container.
What
The
of the drinks? The drinks couldn't be more than 50 milligrams?
Yes, or any products, I think. The amount of delta 9 THC in hemp derived
Yeah,
products.
because there's stuff that's on the market now that's a drinkables. There's a drink that truly promotes
Yeah,
that's
there's
not
like a bunch of
actually
drinks
available in
now.
the
There's
store.
like I feel like Whole Foods and places have like a THC infused section now. Like
Really?
yes, it's gotten like big.
Oh, well, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. So like I it sucks if they're gonna pass something like this and then stores won't be able to sell it anymore. That would suck. Oh,
Well,
the
they're
next
minimizing them.
paragraph is hemp infused drinks. So this is just synthetic cannabinoids and in hemp derived products. Then the amount of THC in hemp infused drinks to just 5 milligrams per container, and the beverages could be sold only by retailers with liquor licenses. A provision backed by lobbyists representing the beer and wine industry. So you could still have the drink, but it has to be like in a liquor store, kind of, or they have to have a liquor license or whatever.
Right, because of
And it
course the
has to
liquor
have that minimum.
people, the alcohol and liquor people are like, gimme, gimme, gimme. Let me take a crack at this. This has to be sold by only alcohol, only liquor stores, because they don't want to lose any more money to the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a state judge last month dismissed a lawsuit from the cannabis company True Leaf against the state Republican Party over the last year's failed constitutional amendment that sought to legalize adult use marijuana. What?
Yeah.
The company had argued that the GOP's opposition campaign was intentionally deceptive with demonstrably false claims that were trying to fool Florida voters into opposing the reform. But the judge disagreed.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
They did put a lot of like anti
they
campaigns, and
were
they were
putting a
even
lot
paying
of
influencers to
and
do
I,
anti weed campaigns.
there was another story that I didn't put for this episode because we would have gone way too long, but it just recently broke, and we could talk about it next time. That DeSantis's administration worked out getting a donation with from public contractors, like private contractors that like take state funds to do private contracts for the state, right? They donated like $10 million, and it ended up going to the anti Amendment 3 campaigns, like most of it. And that was what the money that was used to just basically anti campaign against this measure that the people all signed to be put on. Everybody signed petitions for this to be put on our ballot to vote. So $10 million was spent to anti-campaign about something that people wanted. That money was supposed to go towards Florida, like projects for Florida, things to improve Florida, and instead it was put towards trying to stop us from passing recreational.
I'm telling you, people have nothing better to do. The campaign behind the failed legalization effort, Smart and Safe Florida, is already gearing up for another ballot fight next year, having so far submitted just over 7,500 signatures of the 891,523 needed to make the 2026 ballot, according to the Florida Division of Elections. I bet those fuckers started getting signatures for the one that they needed. They made enough signatures, and then they just started collecting signatures for the next ballot.
I think I don't know if they
Because they
expire.
gotta pay people to do that work,
Yeah,
to go out there and have people sign.
it's a lot of work. It's not easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and people aren't just gonna be out there for free, just asking people for signatures.
The campaign's 2026 iteration includes several changes that seem responsive to issues raised by critics about the 2024 version. State officials recently sent a cease and desist letter to the campaign, however, alleging the group committed multiple election law violations. A recent survey from the University of North Florida found that despite last year's ballot proposal failing, there's overwhelmingly bipartisan voter support for the reform. It showed that 67% of Florida voters now back legalization, including 82% of Democrats and 66% of independents and 55% of Republicans. People want the weed.
The results conflict with another recent poll from the Florida Chamber of Commerce, a proactive opponent of legalization that found majority support for the reform among likely voter, 53%, but not enough to be enacted under the 60% requirement. Meanwhile, Governor Ron DeSantis said in January that the latest version of the legalization initiative is in the big time trouble with the state Supreme Court, predicting it will be blocked from going before voters next year.
Whatever.
Such a giant man baby.
Let me tell you. Look, oh, and we have a V on the board, by the way.
V for venereal
Veterans.
disease.
No, for veterans.
Oh, veteran, sorry. Sorry.
That's
I don't
why.
know. That was the first thing I popped into
Venereal
my head.
disease.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm special. That's the first thing that popped. V
Oh, now we
for
have a
venereal.
P.
And now we got a
What do you got for
P.
P? What do you got for P? Penis?
Party. P for party. What are you talking about?
For party. Our pipe.
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 Do we have a basket filled with eggs, or we still have a couple
We
more?
got a basket. We got a basket. We got EVP
Burps.
this
Spat.
segment. That's a lot of
V.
letters we got going here. So we
Yeah.
got FUR, FSPAPVE. That's quite
Anybody
the
got a
word
hunch?
jumble. You got to be really working that out.
Put
This
it
is
in the
not going to be
comments.
easy.
There's gonna be a winner or not. I
I
mean, this
mean,
might be
do you
hard.
want this bong? Do you want it?
Well, you get rid of the
Hold on.
basket
Oh, hold on. Let me get rid
so
of
they
it.
could see, get a load of this bong.
How do I get rid? Hold on. There we go. Okay. So see it? Do you
Look at
want it?
that.
If you want it, you got to work out the basket. We're not done yet, though. There's more eggs. there's more. There's more eggs coming, guys.
There's how many more eggs we have?
I think quite a few, but we're closing up the show. But you bet
Right. We
we
gotta.
are.
Okay.
The whole time eggs are gonna be just coming. They're gonna be coming at us, just coming left and right. And this is the beginning of the end. So we've reached the end of the show,
Hey.
but we got more eggs.
Yeah. So pay attention. Hey,
we
patrons. I hope you're paying attention because probably all 5 of you that are in our live stream right now are
are
probably
probably.
you.
We love you guys. We want to say thank you to again. We got F on the board here because
For
patrons are
friends.
friends. Yes.
Friendship. Definitely not.
Friendship, friends. Look at all those great pictures of all the good times we've had, and I can't wait to take more pictures at Lala and Chicago. If you want to become a patron, check out our Patreon. We have all sorts of cool stuff happening, events. My favorite thing is just hanging out with you guys in Discord.
P. I see a U now.
Well, we passed P. Oh, I missed the
Yeah,
P.
I just said a P for Patreon.
P for Patreon.
Then
And
U
you for
for
YouTube.
you. For you.
For
Thank
you.
you for being here and watching us. And the 2 people that were concerned with the amount of episodes that they were not happening. You know, all 2 of you, we really appreciate you hitting us up and being like, "Hey, what is
No, we've had
happening?
more than 2 people reach out and be like, hey, what's going on? There hasn't been an episode in a minute.
Hey, is something up?
So we have you
I
on
feel
the
like something's
board.
wrong."
Yeah,
Like,
it's been a minute. Oh, now we
life.
have S. S just popped up for subscribe.
Oh.
Subscribe
S
to us on YouTube.
S for
Share
subscribe
for share.
and
Share our
share. Yeah.
content. Like,
Share. The
comment,
more
help
you
us grow
share, the
our
more
channel.
podcast episodes we make.
And then F just popped up. We have an F. God, that's a lot of letters. Like, I think we have one more. But potsmokingmoms.com. Make sure you follow us. F for follow on all social media platforms. We are at Pot Smoking Moms. So that's F. And as we out this show, we have an O as our last.
I could see you going like writing them down, going like, "Oh, this is gonna be a good one." O for the show out.
Outro.
Outro.
Out. We out. We out. So O is our last egg. Okay, so that was a lot we got there in the ending credits.
Yeah. Do we
We
have a
got
collective? There's the
F,
basket.
P, U, S, F, and O
If
added.
y'all
So
haven't been paying attention, now is a good time to pay attention because
this is the
those are all
full
the eggs.
basket.
That's the whole shebango.
Here we got
Happy
the full
Easter.
basket. I'm gonna
Happy
go
420
for those
Easter.
of you listening at home and not watching for some reason, not being on our YouTube. We have S V O E F U F P F U R F S P A P.
There's a lot of F's and P's here.
Yeah. So what could it be? We don't have any.
Bingo!
We
Oh
got
no,
any
wrong
guesses
game.
in the chat? No guesses?
And no
Close.
guesses?
No, but that's close. Close, but look, there's more letters than just those. There's also an O and a V and an R.
Pap. Pap smear. No, I'm just pleased. I'm just gonna stop guessing things because today's not my day for the guess
It's not
situation.
pap smear.
V for venereal
You
disease.
don't
P
remember
for
what it
pap
was?
smear.
If you can guess the phrase in the
Girl, are you
comments.
kidding me? Do you not remember what it was? I say things and immediately forget about them.
Well, we had the brainstorming session with Jesse for the show, and I
Yeah,
came
I
up with the
remember we
phrase.
talked about it and I believe and we all signed off on it for sure. So I
You're
can't
just
wait to find out what it is, you
with
guys.
the rest of this
It's gonna be
audience, you're gonna
good.
find out. So, Lolo already has half of it there. Like,
Plus, it keeps us safe. Me
it,
forgetting stuff keeps us safe.
the hint is it's already halfway there, and it's in theme with the holidays in this season. That's the hint. So, guess the phrase in the comments for the chance to win the bong. Whoever gets it
One
first,
more.
even
Look
if
at that
we're
bong.
even if look at the bong one more time.
One more time. Look at
One more
that
time.
bong.
Bum bum bum. It's green.
Dun, dun, dun. It's
Green
green
like the
like the
smoke.
stuff you smoke it.
Right. And uh even if we don't guess it now in this episode's going up, and people that come and watch the show, if you guess what it is in the comments, you still have a chance to win. But as soon as somebody gets it, that we will hit that person up as the winner.
Hey,
Why
pay
are you
things
laughing at me?
because you're like it sounds like you're trying to add more words to the end of your paper. So you're like, yeah, and then they will be the winner. And you're just like, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm baked. Did you not see the joint? How
Yeah,
big
I
it
know.
was that I smoked?
Oh no, I
We
was
should
holding off.
have a closing sesh for the 420 holiday. This was a lovely time.
This was very lovely. Thanks so much. This was very, very
Very
lovely.
lovely. Lolo, you're so close. Come on, you almost got it. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned to our social media channels to see when we'll be doing something like this again. Make sure you're following us.
Yeah, because they're far and few in between these days, guys. So you want to take advantage of any time we do get to get a show
Once this
together.
acquisition's done and things get a little more settled, maybe we'll have a little more timeliness, but
Maybe we'll have more TikToks action.
so at least some kind of content. But
Show
this
'em
was fun.
action.
Happy 420. Love you guys. Bye.
Hasta la próxima.
Ah.